Welcome to the Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Podcast. I want you to be rich. Yes, I want abundant financial success for your business. But I don't just care about your business making money. I care about you too. I want you to be rich in happiness, in the impact you make, in your relationships, and in how you give back. I'm Anna. I built my six-figure business as a side hustle while I was pregnant with my daughter in 2016. Now I've helped dozens of women do the same. I'm here to help you build a profitable, heart-centered, fully booked business with the latest tips on sales and visibility, with proven mindset hacks, and sneak peeks behind the scenes with what's working right now in the online space and in my business. Ready to make more money with heart? Let's go.
You know what I've been thinking about a lot lately is how do we create novelty in our business for ourselves, but for our audience too, but how do we do it in a way that doesn't burn us out? Because I think at the beginning of my business, I had so much novelty because I just had all these ideas and I had shiny object syndrome, and it really burned me out in a way because I was doing so many things and I was doing none of them well. I had like 4 different programs and none of them were selling, and it was just this scattered place of not repeating things, right? And doing a lot of things, but not giving any of them enough energy to really let them systematize. But then I got into my business where I was able to slow down, and I chopped out a lot of, in some ways, like a lot of different businesses, because I was doing like my therapy, I was doing my life coaching, I was doing business coaching, and I chopped out everything but business coaching. And then I had several offers, and I was like, okay, I'm going to chop out several things except for this one offer until I can sell it out and systematize it on the back end and streamline how I market it. And then I was doing like a lot of different marketing, like challenges and webinars. And I was like, I'm just going to master the challenge. So I just started doing challenges. And that was such an era of my business that I feel like so many women don't click into, which is just really simplifying their funnel, right? Having one way to get visible. Like for me at the start of my business, it was just my Facebook group. I really cut out, it was Periscope at the time and YouTube, and I just had one offer and one sales mechanism, my sales call, right? And one of everything. And I feel like a lot of women don't evolve into that. So that's a no for you if you haven't, but there is another evolution. And that's what I've been really thinking about in the last 2 years that I think has really multiplied my income in so many ways. And that is after you are consistent, after you do grow your teams, after you do create the systems, after you do have one product that you're making at least 6 figures on, after you have, after you've crushed it, then the next evolution is how do you add back novelty again? And this really threw me and my team for a loop when we went back into it. But now that I feel like in the last 2 years or so, it's really what skyrocketed my income. Because, who is it? It's Esther Perel that really talks about intimate relationships. We need the safety and the stability and the trustworthiness and the structure, but we also deeply need novelty and fun. I think about my relationship with my kids. The other day, I realized they were really cranky when they were waking up. And so I woke up doing this silly hand clap thing, and they just thought it was so funny. And I think as adults, we're that way too. We need we need flowers, right? We need something different sometimes. And I think we can get so routine. And so last year when I changed my main offer to 3-Day Entrepreneur, I got brand new brand photos, even though I hate taking pictures. I think I did a podcast episode that outlined 10 things I started doing different in my business. And I will say it really modernized a lot of what I'm doing, but I think it also created some fun and some play and some novelty. But today, that was an intro, okay? Today though, I want to talk about how do we add novelty without burning ourselves out? Because when I say that, what I'm not saying is create 17 different programs or 17 different freebies. And I was thinking about this again because I just did a Get and Coach launch that went really well. That was kind of an unlaunch. I almost canceled it because I was just in a chapter of not feeling like I had another launch in me right now because of my health challenges and all the things. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do a webinar. You know what? I'm not going to do a live Q&A call. You know what? I just basically cut out 80% of my launch. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do open cart for 2 days. And if you want in, great. If you don't, whatever. But the reason that works so well for me, you guys, is because of the novelty of usually I do a big launch and I am willing to do a webinar and I am willing to hop on sales calls with people. It wasn't that I was like, oh, I'm too good for a launch and I'm not willing to hop on sale. Like, it wasn't that. I think it was the novelty of it. But really what I did is I did a really stripped down version of what I usually do. I didn't do a complete opposite of what I usually do in my launch, right? So lately I've been doing webinars. So I didn't say, okay, I have this routine with webinars and now I'm going to do a challenge, right? I just stripped it down and skipped the webinar and just went straight to the little waitlist push I usually do, right? So I think how we can create novelty without burning ourselves out is not doing the opposite of what we're doing or switching things up a lot, but just skipping things or simplifying things or doing a different version of what we already do. Like I think I told you girls, you know, last round I did a mastermind of 10 women, but this round I did the same launch, but I did the 10 women as one-on-one clients because it felt like a better fit for my clients and for me in this chapter. But the reason that didn't burn me out is because it was the same program, right? And it was the same, instead of 3 group calls, they get 3 30-minute one-on-one calls with me. Like, I think we think that novelty has to be so different and flashy, but I think it's just the willingness to skip some things or layer on one thing or slightly vary something or change the format. And I would love to ask you, and even I want you to ask your intuition this. You know, I've been sharing that lately, like when I've been feeling anxiety or any sort of doubt, I take a deep breath in my chest and I breathe it down to my belly. Do it right now. Send that breath down to your intuition, your knowing. And for whatever is on the horizon for you, whether it's a podcast episode or a challenge or a launch, ask yourself, does your audience need more consistency from you? Or do they need some novelty and some excitement, right? And how can you create that in a way that feels really simple, in a way that doesn't burn you out? But I really believe our relationship with our audience is like that. It needs consistency and safety and trust and rapport, but it needs a little bit of fun. It needs a little bit of spark. And I was just talking with a client on a call about this today. She is deeply creative and sensitive and just really innovative. But she was holding a lot of that back from her business. She made these like beautiful little illustrations. And I was like, you need to share these on social media, right? And she was like, oh, are people gonna like judge me for them? And I'm like, listen, if someone judges you for them, that's a great way to know they're not an ideal client of yours, right? And I think we are afraid to like have fun and play and be weird. But like, in my opinion, I would rather be my full self and be weird and be opinionated before someone works with me so that they know who I'm like. You know, and that's the feedback I get from clients is I'm very consistent, like who I am in public versus like private as a coach. And I think that's one of the reasons why I have such happy clients that get great results, because there's no surprises, right? If someone is going to be offended or feel like I'm not a fit, they're going to do that before they pay me money. And that is a great gift, right? So bring out your weird, bring out your play, bring out your personality. Number one, it's going to sell way better, but you're going to enjoy it too, because I'm a firm believer of while business is amazing, I'm so grateful for my business, it's still work. Like, business is work, right? We spend a lot of our lives and our days working, so we might as well enjoy it. And I don't know about you, but I enjoy coaching more than I enjoy my marketing, right? But that being said, while I have to market because it's a part of business, I'm going to have fun doing it. I'm going to enjoy it the best I can. And one of the best things we can do is to bring in a little element of play and fun. So I think this message is for a lot of you that are in a place of like, you really worked hard to create systems and to create stability and to create structure. But ask yourself, what can I do? I'm going to also link the podcast episode I did on the 10 things that really crushed my mastermind launch last year too, because I talk about like 10 pieces of change really that I created. And I think it's easy for us to get stuck in a rut, right? It's easy for us to not evolve and not change, but I feel like the right targeted changes actually make things easier, because then we're not, if we're doing too much of like reusing old marketing, reusing old stuff, then it's not attracting attention. And then we're having to work harder because we don't have as high of a conversion rate. And so the time that you put into changing and updating and creating excitement. Like at the end of the day, your programs and your launches are going to sell because of your energy and your excitement and your positivity. And part of like changing and renovating and innovating is a part of that. So I would love to hear from you. Are you in a season of needing to stabilize, or are you in a season of needing to sprinkle in a little bit of excitement? I would love to hear if you have any inspo for the excitement that you want to throw in. Maybe you love to sing, and maybe you want to record a little audio on Google Drive and share that with your audience in your next email, right? Maybe you decide you want to write a piece of poetry. Like, I think those parts of us that are clever and playful and creative are some of the like hidden gems that gets clients to sign with us because they see those deeper parts of us. So do not be afraid to put those friends center.
Thanks for hanging out today. Please hit that subscribe button so you can make sure to stay updated anytime a new episode drops. And I would love for you to join me in my free Facebook community. It's called The Heart-Centered Entrepreneur. We discuss the podcast episodes. I regularly go live and do free trainings. And you may even meet your newest biz bestie. So you can join at heartcenteredcommunity.com. It's absolutely free, and I cannot wait to see you in there.